All right. Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. My name is Morgan Heitzma with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is actually going to be a You Choose class. So every other Friday, we leave it up to you guys to vote in what class you would like to see taught for the Friday. So today's Friday, the You Choose class is going to be opportunities marketing as well as opportunities checklist. So we're going to dive into our opportunities a little bit deeper here today, and learn a few other additional tools and resources at your disposal. So one of those is going to be the ability to create a streamlined marketing throughout your entire listing opportunity. The other is going to be able to create buyers and listing checklists so you know that you're doing exactly the same excellent service for every single client that comes into a specific stage and phase of the transaction. So really cool here. We have a couple of resources as well that we're going to jump into here in a moment. But just note that today's class is going to be recorded and can be found on our YouTube page. I'm going to go ahead and drop that link in the chat box down below for you. Perfect. And with today's class, just know that you can use this chat box to ask any questions at all. I'll do my best to stop in real time here for you. If by chance I miss your question, just know I'm going to stay for a few minutes at the end of class here to help answer any of those that I may have missed. If by chance that your KW Command account is just not quite working the way that it's intended to, or you're struggling to kind of get from point A to point B, please feel free to reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. We'll be happy to help jump into your account and troubleshoot any issues that may be occurring. All right. Without further ado, last but not least, let me go ahead and drop this additional resources link in the chat box for you as well. We're not going to jump into that just yet, but it's going to be something that we're going to come back to here, and I'll be sure to drop the link again when we are in that specific section. But there's all your resources there for you at the very beginning here. Taking a look over onto our screen, we have the KW Command login page. We're going to use Scott's KW Command here today. If this is your very first time signing into the KW Command platform, just know that it's going to be agent.kw.com. And then once we get to this page here, we'll just enter in our KW username and password, and then we'll go ahead and click sign in. As we are signed in here, I'm going to actually navigate over to Scott's personal account here. So we're going to run everything underneath the personal account here today. But as we're taking a look at this, this is our KW Command homepage, and where we're going to want to navigate to is our opportunities. So if we go ahead and click on the red KW square in the top left-hand corner here, this should open up your left-hand navigational icons for us to be able to view those specific pages a little bit easier. And now we can easily identify the opportunities page. It's going to be located somewhere in the middle here, and it looks like two people shaking hands. Now, before we jump into our opportunities here, there's going to be a couple additional setup pieces. And I know we run through this during our full opportunities class, but just note that it's super important to kind of make sure that everything is connected. So first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and click on our name on the top right-hand corner here, and we're going to go ahead and click on our settings. Now, whenever you're dealing with opportunities, we're just going to want to make sure that our DocuSign is connected here. Again, we have a full in-depth DocuSign and opportunities class, so I won't spend too much time on this here today. But our first step is to make sure that we do have our DocuSign connected. Our second step, since we're dealing with marketing inside of our opportunities, we're going to want to click on this Connect Settings dropdown. And we're going to want to just double check that everything is set up appropriately within our marketing profile. So within our marketing profile, we just want to make sure that our headshot is up to date, our logo, our name, contact information, email, bio, all this information is updated. If not, we can simply type in or adjust any information and then click save at the very bottom here. One last thing before we navigate away from the marketing profile right here is there's going to be a toggle option on the top right hand corner here that says use my information to brand my agent site. we're going to want to toggle this on to green because it does a little bit more than just brand your information to your website. It actually brands your marketing. It brands your information to all of your marketing, your email marketing, your website, as well as some of the marketing that we're going to run through here today. So we're just going to want to make sure this is toggled on to green right here. And then last but not least, our last setting here, if we click on our name on the top right-hand corner here, and then we're to scroll down to My Profile. We're just going to want to give that a click here. And on the top right-hand corner, it says Display My Profile on kw.com. We're just going to want to toggle this on to yes. We want to just make sure that all of our outward-facing information is locatable, and again, should help with streamlining all of your marketing content. So we're just going to want to make sure that everything is outward facing and set up good to go here. As we are kind of taking a look, I just made my way back to the home page here. And then now we can go ahead and start creating an opportunity. So the second step after we get everything set up and connected, we're going to want to go ahead and click on our red KW square again, and then make our way over to our contacts. As we're taking a look here, at this point in time, you can go ahead and add a contact, you can import contacts, we can help you import contacts, or we can just find a contact that has already been entered into our database here. In this case right here, we're going to go ahead and use fake name as our contact example for today. If we go ahead and click on fake name right here, we should be able to kind of view the contact's information, and then on the right hand side, all the activities that are happening with this contact. On the right hand side right here, you do have opportunities right next to the timeline. And in here, we can actually create specific opportunities for this one individual right here. So if you're focused on your contacts or your database at that specific point in time, this may be the best course of method to create opportunities. We can go ahead and simply click on create opportunity here, and it should bring up our opportunity form. Now, if you're transaction focused at that specific point in time, what we can do is we can go ahead and click on our red KW square again, and then we can make our way to our opportunities, and this will kind of show us all of our transactions that are currently happening. So one's contact focused and the other's transaction focused. So I know we went a little bit quick there, but first and foremost, we set up everything. We made sure our DocuSign was connected. We double checked our marketing profile and made sure that our KW profile is showing publicly. And then we also created a contact. So those would be the first three things to kind of set up before we make our way to our opportunities here. After that, I'll go ahead and simply enter my opportunities page. And here we'll have a few different options. We'll have our listing and we'll have our buyers. We'll also have leases as well, but truthfully, your marketing is only going to showcase within your listings timeline here. If we think about both sides of the transaction, technically buyers, you won't really need to market a buyer, right? So the marketing is only going to be presented within the listings timeline right here. So I'm going to create a opportunity, and I'm going to create a listing opportunity for fake name. And again, at this point in time, if you're creating a listing or if you're creating a buyer opportunity, listings, we may already know that listing address. So at this point in time, we can actually change the opportunity name to 123 Main Street right here. If this was a buyer, we may want to change it to pretty much what it was originally, first name, last name, buyer. But since it's a listing and we already know the address, we're going to plug this in right here as 123 Main Street, just so we're able to easily identify this opportunity or this listing. Down below right here, we have our commission rate, opportunity phase, and opportunity stage. We don't really need to fill these top three sections in right here just yet. If you have that information, fantastic. But just note that we will need to complete this before we fill out our commissions report. So In this case right here, I'm just going to throw a 0% commission rate as a test opportunity here. Opportunity phase and stage. This is pretty great because if you're already halfway through a transaction with a client, we can actually move them all the way up to active negotiations. Because after that, under contract acts like a locked-in deal where both parties are signing documents and contracts and things like that. So we can actually move our opportunity all the way up to active negotiations, and then manually move them over to under contract. But in this case, Cultivate Watch will be perfectly fine. I'm going to click on Create here. And this creates a opportunity. It opens me up into the opportunity that we just created. Now, one thing that we're able to easily identify is in this purple dot right here, right above it says marketing. We're going to jump into this in just a moment here, but I'm going to back out here for just a second. I'm going to create one more opportunity as a buyer here. And we're going to leave that fake name buyer right here. We're going to also add a 0% commission rate. We're going to hit create right here. And now we have a buyer opportunity and a listing opportunity. But one thing to keep in mind is we no longer have that purple marketing. Again, we don't quite market. We don't create flyers for a buyer looking for a property, right? So we won't have that option here. Now, taking a look at these kind of side by side here, there's going to be one other thing that you'll see within the listing section that you may not see within the buyer section. So our marketing's one of them. As you see, we don't have a marketing in the buyer side. The other one is going to be a select from listings option. So on the listings opportunity, you're able to kind of select this button and you can show all listings here, and we can type in 123 Main Street. And then we can search for that specific listing right here. So if I wanted to, I can select this listing and it would pull that listing information in here. Now, again, on the buyer side, we don't quite have that. Again, as we're going through the timeline, we're searching for properties for them. And once we find that property, there's going to be a little pencil right here. I'm not quite sure if you're able to see that. But once we hover over it, we can click on this pencil and then we can enter in that listing address manually. So those are kind of the two differences that we'll see here with the buyer opportunities and the listing opportunities. But within the listing opportunities, we're able to just very easily pull that in, and it auto-populated that information here for us. Now, before we jump into the marketing side right here, jumping back over here to my pipeline, we have Cultivate, Appointment, Active, Under Contract, and Closed. So the very beginning of the stage is Cultivate Watch. So here we have Watch, Nurture, and Hot. We can start to navigate this this opportunity down the pipeline here and be able to move them throughout this whole entire timeline. And so as we start moving this opportunity down the pipeline right here, each one of these sections should have specific marketing for this listing. And so I'm going to move this back over here to Cultivate so we can kind of see this at the very beginning here. All right, so we have our 123 Main Street that we just created. We're in Cultivate Watch right here. As we give this listing a click and we jump into our marketing here, you'll see 4 different options for us to create specific marketing for this listing here. Now, keep in mind we're at the very beginning stages. So, as we're taking a look at the beginning stages of a Cultivate, that would be as if a lead came into your database, a cold lead that you have not nurtured just yet. And then as we start to nurture them and gain information, then we can move them from Watch over to Nurture. And as they're ready to do business with you, we can move them over into Hot, right? So now we can start to move them down that pipeline. And so at the very beginning here, taking a look at a cold listing lead, we have these specific pieces of marketing. So right here, as we take a look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a little bit of, we have a thumbnail so we can kind of see what this looks like. Right below it, though, is pretty important because it'll indicate which which type of marketing this is. So 1, 2, 3, all of these are social media posts right here. So again, we can only utilize these through social media. Unfortunately, we won't be able to create an email out of these ones because these are just going to be for social media. Now, at this point in time, we can go ahead and select any one that we like. I'm going to just select this one right here on the edge. And as we give this a click here, it should open us up into that marketing piece. Now, what's really cool about this is it doesn't take too much to edit this, and it saves each piece of marketing material inside of that opportunity section that we were at. So at this point in time, I just kind of want to make a little bit different background right here just to easily identify this. And I may move, may swap the logo out as well. There you go, that's fine. I'm just going to swap that out right here. So now we can easily identify that this is a adjusted or edited piece of marketing right here. I'm going to hit File, Save. And then on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side, I'm going to hit Done right here. I'm going to hit Save one more time. And then it should move me back over to that opportunity. So now we can kind of see that piece of marketing that we created here. Now, this is a cool thing is not only do you have an opportunity to create a design right here, on the right-hand side, you can also create a paid campaign as well. So we can kind of give this a click here, and it should jump us into that section where we're able to kind of market or create that paid ad. There we go, single listing image. Single image listing here. So again, it's showcasing that one listing that you entered into that opportunity. And again, we can just simply click on 123 Main Street. So we'll filter our columns on, and then we'll just go street address. There we go. And then 123 Main Street, and then we'll just hit enter right here. And then again, we'll find that same listing accordingly with the one that we have within our opportunities. So as we start updating this, then we can just very easily create a paid ad for this right here. I'm not going to create this ad here because unfortunately I don't believe that there's a way to save as draft. We would actually need to publish this immediately as we finish this up here. So I'm just going to back out here really quickly, but you do have the option to create that paid ad through your opportunity here. And then again, if there's any other designs that you want to create, you can kind of create a design here, and then it should show up in your timeline. Now, this is the real beauty of this right here. As we kind of go back to our pipeline right here, we're going to move. I don't think it's this one. I think it's this one, actually. We're going to move this over here to nurture. And it doesn't quite look like there's anything just yet, so we're just going to move back over here. And then we're going to move over to hot here and check to see if there's any additional marketing. Okay, so it doesn't quite look like there's any additional marketing for the cultivate section, but as we start to move this over to the appointment, we'll give this another click here, and then this is the scheduled section. Within our appointments here, we'll have a different set of marketing. And so now we have a listing presentation. And again, keeping note of the type of marketing that it is, this is a print marketing right here. So now that we've nurtured that cold lead, we've gained additional information, and that lead is ready to list their home with you, moving them over to the next stage right here, you're able to create a listing presentation for that client. So again, we can simply click on this right here. It'll jump us into the design section. As this loads up right here, the first thing to note is on the bottom right hand side right here, when you're dealing with print marketing, you may have additional pages. So right here, very much like a Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Slides, you'll see all of your different pages on the right hand side here. So we can scroll through, we can identify each page, we can adjust any information on each page right here. We can click on the three dots, we can duplicate or delete pages. But again, in this case right here, I just want to easily identify that this is an edited or adjusted piece right here. So maybe I might change the coloring here. There we go. And something again, just to kind of note that this is an updated piece of marketing here. All right, so again, as we go through here, it's very easy to edit and update these. We have a full in-depth designs class for you guys. So again, if you're struggling with creating any marketing, just know that we have live and recorded classes here for you. You can edit this as well. And then again, very easy to adjust this. So in this case right here, again, on the left-hand side, file, save. On the right-hand side, we'll hit done right here and then save. And then you'll have that second piece of marketing here. Got a question. Can you just copy and then make your new ad item? Well, you can copy these. Once we create these pieces of marketing right here, if we go back to our designs, we should be able to see these marketing pieces right here as well. So at any point in time, we can make a copy of these or duplicate or edit these around. But I'd always suggest starting off within that opportunity first, because that's how they are connected together. If you just create the opportunity, if you just create the design inside of your designs page, it won't have that back end information to know that it should be connected to a specific opportunity. So we're gonna hit done here. There we go. We're back into our marketing. So now we have two pieces of marketing that we can create and follow along down this this transaction here. Again, moving our way backward. I'm not 100% sure if it's specific to the phases: cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, or close, or if they're congruent with the stages here: the scheduled, appointment kept. So we're just going to drag this down the line. We're just going to keep checking here, see if anything adjusts or is a little bit different. So we'll jump back into our marketing here, and nope, we are good to go. So now I'm going to make my way over to the active section right here. So moving my opportunity over to the active. Now we're showing, we're having open houses, things like that. We're staging the listing. So all these different things that we're doing. Again, clicking on our opportunity here and going to our marketing, we should have the marketing materials that are similar to that. So now we have a for sale post, an open house post, a just listed post. All three of these are social media posts, and then you have two flyers, so two printable flyers. So as you are setting up that open house, we can print these off and have that one sheet for your clients to look at. So again, very easy. We already created a social media post and we created a print post. So again, this is going to be very similar to both of these that we just did. You can create both of these, or you can just create one, right? So I'm just going to select this just listed social post right here. Now in here, I may want to be a little bit more fancy with this design right here. So in this case right here on the left hand side, I'm going to click KWLS, And oh, it already pulled in that listing. Super cool. I didn't even have to search for this listing. It pulled it based off of the opportunity. So I was going to show you guys how to kind of search for this, but again, utilizing the opportunity marketing, I already pulled this information in for us, so we didn't have to search for it. So now what's really cool is I can kind of drag this one over and place it over top of this just listed here. I can double click on this and it should open up that entire image. So now at any point in time, I can kind of just go ahead and slide this over. Can hit done right here. And now we can have this nice just listed home. The gray's a little intense here, so I may adjust this over a little bit, either a KW red, or if I have a specific logo color that I like, I can go ahead and adjust that here, and there we go. Oh, last but not least, we may want to put that logo on there as well. And there we go. So again, top left-hand corner, we'll hit File, Save, and then on the top right-hand corner, we'll just hit Done right here. Again, I didn't quite edit too much of this right here. So again, be strategic in your marketing. These are just simply examples here, but should be enough to be able to easily identify this. So now we have 3 branded pieces of marketing for this opportunity here. I do also want to create maybe a flyer as well for my open house. So I'll do this one more time. We'll click on KWLS and update this image right here, left-hand side. It already pulled in that listing here for us. And I may want to pull this one in now right here. Perfect. Well, let's actually use this one. And again, I kind of want to highlight this home a little bit more. So I'll double click on this right here. I can expand this a little bit larger. And then again, I can simply place this right here and hit done right here. Perfect. We'll go ahead and fill in all this additional information. Whoops. Well, that's okay. That's fine for our example right here. There you go. It is loading up. Again, when we're dealing with technology, every once in a while there could be a technical difficulty there, but it looks like it did swap over here for us. Again, we'd fill in our own information right here down at the bottom. Again, File, Save on the left-hand side, and then Done on the right-hand side right here. So we'll wait for this to adjust over here. And there we go. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 branded pieces of marketing here for this listing. And again, as we are navigating onward here, they continue to stay with that listing. So moving over to now, I don't think, yeah, so if you're in a specific phase right here, it does show all of the marketing because we did view those open house pieces of marketing as well. So I'm just going to move this back over to under contract right here. I'm going to give this a click. I'm going to click on our opportunity again and then navigate over to our marketing. There we go. Now we have 3 social media posts right here. We have 2 under contracts, and then I think actually all 3 of them are under contract. So again, view the one that you like the most. I think this one pops out a little bit nicer. So we're going to utilize this one as our social media post right here. And I just kind of wanted to see, yep. So there's not too much editability that we can do on this one because this for sale sign post right here is actually blended into the image. So for example, if I were to use this as a background, you see it kind of takes away everything else right here. So again, something to be strategic. I believe it's only the text. Oh, it's actually only this bottom text right here that you have and your KWDBA logo and your each office is independently owned and operated. So there's only about 3 things to adjust in this listing right here. So I can go ahead and adjust this here. One, two, three Main Street. And then again, I can put my own logo here, or the KW Market Center logo. And then again, file save on the bottom, on the top left-hand corner, and then done on the top right. And as we're creating these, right, as we are creating these pieces of marketing, you're going to go through these stages and phases independently, right? And as we create a post, right, a piece of marketing, it is ideal to utilize that marketing at that point in time. So for example, as we created this under contract piece of marketing right here, after I create that, I would then go to my campaigns and then create a scheduled post. Okay. So, so again, use this in congruency with your campaigns here. Aside from your print marketing, right, which you would print that out during your open house or whenever you need it. But yeah, so rule of thumb is when you create the social post, go ahead and post it as well, because chances are you're already at that point in time where you can utilize that on your social media platforms. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pieces of marketing for this one listing already. We're going to simply make our way forward here. We're going to move this to the closed section right here. We'll click on our marketing. And now we have a few just sold, 2 social media posts and 1 printable post. So again, however you guys would like to showcase this, I may want to showcase this on my social media platform again. So we'll go ahead and jump in here. We'll click on that listing here, KWLS on the left-hand side. And then we'll just simply choose an image right here. There we go. As it's still loading up through here at the very top, we'll wait for that to be done. And then we'll just double click this. And let's drag this down to where it needs to be. So if you can't drag it down any further, all we need to do is simply enlarge it a little bit more, which should give us some more room to lower it down a little bit. And there we go. We'll enlarge this just a little bit more. And hit done. So there we go. So now we have a just sold flyer. Again, top left-hand corner, we'll save it. Top right-hand corner, we'll hit done. I know I said flyer, but I meant a social media post right here. So now we've actually went through the entire timeline of a listing from the moment that it comes in as a cold lead to the moment that we close on the deal. So here are all of the different pieces of marketing that we've created for that listing. So again, very easy to be able to showcase with your clients what you're doing for them. Very easy to be able to keep your marketing organized based off of the specific listings that you are showcasing. So again, super cool to be able to kind of have these here. All right, so as we're talking about making our way through this timeline here, the cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and close. So I'm actually going to bring my fake name opportunity, my 123 Main Street, all the way back over to cultivate right here. And we're going to start at the very beginning here. So now I have this 123 Main Street. As we go through watch, nurture, and hot, as we start to navigate them through this timeline here, right? Because each section will have its own different categories. You're actually able to create checklist items for each section or each stage within our phases here. So as we're taking a look here, if we have 3 or 4 different individuals in the watch stage, we want to make sure that we get the same amount of information, or that we're providing the same level of service for every single one of these individuals. And the best way to do that is to create a checklist for this specific section right here. So as we scroll down, you see John Doe, Brittany, and fake name right here. They all have on the bottom right-hand corner 8 items that we need to check off before we move them over to the next section right here. After we move them over to the next section, this section has 7 specific tasks that we need to complete before we move them over to hot right here, in which they'll have 2 tasks before we move them over to appointment. So it's very easy to be able to structure out your business and your activities by these checklist items right here. So as we're taking a look right here, before we jump in and take a look at editing and adjusting these right here, it is also important to note that every once in a while we may have a client that may need a little bit of extra TLC. And when that comes about and when that happens, we can simply click on that individual's checklist item. And you see everyone has 8 checklist items. But if I click on this right here and I look at the very top right hand corner here, I have create task. And I can create an extra task. I can create an extra task right here. I'll hit create, and what this will do is this will add an additional task onto that client that needs a little extra TLC without affecting the rest of the group that's in this category here. So again, very cool to be able to add some extra items if needed without kind of adjusting it for everyone. Now, as we kind of looked at that section right here, I'll give that a click again. As we're taking a look right here, once we create these checklist items, this is what it'll look like when we jump in here and we start marking these off right here. So the first checklist item is get the phone number of the lead. So you have a checkboxes right here, but these won't mark these complete. You'll actually have to click on the right hand side right here and click on these check marks and mark these as complete right here. So, so not only that, but it kind of gives you an indication on when these were completed and if you belong to a team who completed these. So you can also add a due date to specific tasks as well. So again, to help keep things moving along in a steady fashion, you can add due dates right here. One thing that we're not able to see right here is if you belong to a team, you'll have an additional button right here. I believe primarily for Rainmakers. It may depend on your permission level, but you'll have a button right here that says assign. And for the Rainmakers, you're able to assign specific team members to accomplish specific tasks right here. So really cool. As we are kind of taking a look at this right here, you'll also see your cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and close. So we can actually start to see what these look like in that timeline right here. But in this case, I just want to mark 2 of these active right here and then hit done. So now we have 2 out of our 8 items completed right here. Once we get 8 out of 8, we'll just simply move this opportunity over to the next category here. Now, how do we create these? So simply wherever you are on your timeline. So right now we're currently in Cultivate right here. There will be a button on the top right hand corner that says stages and checklists. So again, wherever you are is going to be where you're adjusting those checklist items. So for Cultivate right here, we're going to go ahead and click on stages and checklists. And right here, you'll have your watch, nurture, and hot. Again, you can adjust this however you see fit, whatever fits the most with you and your business. If you need a extra stage right here, we have watch, nurture, almost hot, and then hot. We can do that. Again, this is really for you to maximize your business structure inside of the KW Command platform. So in this case right here, again, we can also delete or edit these. On the right hand side, once a stage has been created here, if we click edit, we can only edit the name and the probability of closing. So probability of closing is cool. The moment a lead comes into your database and you have not reached out, chances are we have about a 0% probability of closing on that contact. Once we start nurturing that lead and building a relationship, then we probably have about a 5% probability of closing. We'll ignore almost hot for a second. And then once they're ready to do business with you, you probably have about a 10% probability of closing. And this number should climb as we're getting closer to the end of the transaction. So again, we can adjust this however we see fit. If we know that when we're staging homes that that's about a 98% chance that we're going to close on the deal, we can go ahead and adjust that to be more realistic numbers. Now, when we add a new stage right here, we also have the ability to create that stage name. We use almost hot again. You have that probability, but you also have the ability to add checklist items. So right here, we'll just do task name 1. We'll add task name 2 right here, and then we'll add a task name 3. And before I hit create right here, you also have a description of the task. And again, this is some additional context for you, as well as a hyperlink option as well. If you know that you have to plug in their information on a specific spreadsheet before you can continue onward, you can add that hyperlink to that spreadsheet right here, so on and so forth. If you have a specific email template that you know that you need to send out to them, you can go ahead and drop that link right there. So a lot of different options there. As well as your priority level. How urgent is this task right here? Is it low, medium, high, or is there no priority at all? I'm going to do a high priority for this right here for task number 3. Again, you'll see that that we have all of these listed out right here. We'll hit save. And then again, I'm going to move almost hot in between here again. And then as we go back to our cultivate section, you'll see that now we have this almost hot category. And as we move this opportunity over, we have those 3 checklist items, 1, 2, and 3 right here. So it also kind of shows you your different categories before, like as we added 2 of our 8 tasks previously. So we can kind of see what this all looks like right here. Now, again, within these stages and checklists right here, once a stage has already been created, I know we can't quite edit the checklist items right here. However, if we take a look at this category right here where it says checklist, you have the ability to click on these items right here and adjust this accordingly. So again, if I click on my almost hot, my 3 items, I can go over here and I can kind of edit or delete these specific items right here. Then I'll edit this and I'll call this number 1. So, lots of different options here for you. So I have a link here. It's going to look something similar to this. I'm going to drop this in the chat box again for you guys. And as we're taking a look right here, this document has 2 specific links that we're actually going to look at here today. So these are the 2 that I've highlighted here. So within this right here, you have your seller opportunity checklist and your buyer opportunity checklist. So since we're dealing with a seller right now, a listing, we'll go ahead and click on this, and then we'll open this page up right here. This is a fantastic resource for you guys to get started building these checklist items for every single category in each timeline here. So this is going to be the seller or the listing timeline that we've entered here today and that we're creating opportunities off of. Taking a look right here, let me go back here so we can kind of see this. So we have our cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and closed. As we take a look at this right here on the left-hand side, we have cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and closed. So you see that on the left-hand side on column A right here. Now, just taking a look at our cultivate right here, we have our watch, nurture, and hot at the very top. Watch, nurture, and hot. So again, we can identify that watch, nurture, and hot. We'll ignore almost hot here. Actually, let's go ahead and remove this. So we have our watch, nurture, and hot. So now at this point in time, what we can do is we can see all of these different checklist items here that we can just simply copy and paste into our own checklist. So again, taking a look here, all I have to do is click on stages and checklists. I'll go over to my watch right here. I'll click on my checklist items. And again, if you guys have these, then that's great. If you don't, let me create a brand new one here for us. So we're going to create a brand new watch right here. We're going to click on these checklist items right here. And then all we'll need to do is take a look at this and then we can just Control C and then Control V. So there's our first checklist item right here. Our second one, we'll just go ahead and highlight this, Control C and Control V right here. Third checklist item, we'll do the same thing right here. Control C, and then we'll Control V right here. So now we can actually start to build out a fantastic checklist here for us, you know, without really having to navigate or stress too much about all the different action items that we need to have incorporated. So so really cool here. So let's go ahead and finish up this cultivate section right here. We'll have a few more. Control C, Control V right here. And then we have about 3 more. So again, I know I'm going a little quick for this, but again, it should be relatively easy for you guys. The only thing that I may suggest is to take a look at these checklist items, edit and adjust any checklist items that may not suit you and your business. For example, if you like to call more than you like to text, if you like to text more than you like to email, right? So like lots of different options or ability to edit these checklist items. But this right here is at least should give you a good starting point of what to kind of add and what to kind of look for. So again, you also have your probability of closing percentage right here as well. You have 5, 7, 10, and then you have 10, 20, 30. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, and then 100 during closed. So again, very easy to copy and paste these. Honestly, go through these and make sure that that you're adjusting them to make them your own. That should really help you be able to you know, showcase your unique experience. Now, again, even though we don't quite have a listing marketing for our buyers, right? We still have that ability to create buyer checklists. So again, very much like how we were seeing on the listing checklist right here. If we were to click back on this page right here, right below the seller checklist, we're going to have that buyer opportunity checklist. So we'll have this right here. And then again, we'll simply copy and paste, watch, nurture, and hot. And then we'll just kind of continue it downward here. Well, I think that may be about it for today's class. I know we kind of ended a little bit early here for you, but again, hopefully I can kind of give you guys 10 minutes back. Thank you so much. I hope this helped. If you have any additional questions, please again feel free to reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. Again, this video will be uploaded on our YouTube page. Should take about 24 hours to process, but it should be housed up there. I'm going to drop that link in the chat box down for you as well. And with that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better weekend.